Where did you go from there?
I knew all I needed to know when Devontae came to me with the information. So I didn't need to wait on any police reports. I didn't need any more information. What he told me immediately drew a suspension from this football team, no practicing, no playing. Other than that, I'm not going to get into the specifics of anything. He told me everything I needed to know. I appreciate the fact that he came to me first. But I said when I took this program that, New Mexico wasn't going to win until New Mexico got the Lobos off their own schedule. We can't. I talk about self-inflicted mistakes all the time. That's another example of a self-inflicted mistake of us just beating ourselves. So I also said I'm not afraid to lose a football game if it means sacrificing the foundation for the future. So I had all the information I needed from Devonta himself. I still haven't seen the police report, but that warrants an immediate suspension from me from all activities. So he's not out here practicing, he's not playing.
Is it indefinite or just this week?
I'm going to wait and see how it all plays out. I've not even looked at the police report. I don't know that I really need to, with the significance of the accusations. So let's just let's let the process play out a little bit. But right now he's not practicing and he's not playing, and he won't play this week, that's for sure.
Did it change anything that he came to you about it?
No. I appreciated him coming to me, but that doesn't change the result, or it doesn't change the actions. That's something that there's no margin for error with something like that. So he knew when he walked in the door, as soon as he started down that path, he knew what the outcome of that conversation was going to be. It's a shame. I'm glad the situation wasn't worse than it was. I mean, it could have been a catastrophic kind of thing. That's about all I'm going to say about it.
So what about him being downtown? Did he say whether or not he had been out drinking in a bar or was drinking with his friends in a bar?
He told me everything, and what he told me is going to be between us. I feel I have a responsibility to keep that information confidential. So I have a pretty good feel of what the circumstances were. As in all these cases, you're always going to hear a lot of different circumstances, but that doesn't make the final result right. I think the penalty fits the crime in this case. And let's just see how it all plays out over time. But he won't be a member of this football team in the near future.
He's only 20 years old. Do you have any concerns that he had a fake ID? He didn't have any license to show the cops.
Yeah, I kind of know that whole situation too. I'm not going to comment any further than that.
Downtown policy, Coach Loxley, after a brawl downtown with some players, had banned them from downtown.
Yeah, no, I really haven't. I've been more, whether it's with social media, it's with a lot of those things. I never isolate guys. I'd rather have them, deal with what reality is and learn how to handle situations. I don't see any need to keep them from going to certain places now. Maybe I will the more I become accustomed to what Albuquerque's all about. But I've never tried to shield guys or keeping them from, making decisions. It's all about making the proper decisions. So, wherever this happened really doesn't matter to me. It's what happened that's of significance.
How did BR look after a full day of practice?
I'll tell you, BR looked great. I mean, we may have to give some other guys some time off. I mean, his arm strength, the velocity on the ball, it was really impressive. I mean, he threw the ball around. He was crisp. It was impressive what he did. I'll be curious to talk to him right after practice to see how he feels. Also, how he feels tomorrow. But man, he looked sharp out here today.
Can you talk about these other three players you had mentioned in the Journal article that have been suspended to earn their spots back?
Sure.
Can you give us a little bit more detail on, were those like attitude adjustments? Were those actual infractions of just your rules or drinking or anything like that?
No, I think with each one of these situations, you try to handle them individually, and you don't try to compromise what your values are or what your values are for the football team. With each situation, I mean, there are so many different circumstances that you just try to do the best you can as a coach and really try to handle it like I would as a father. And a lot of times these circumstances depend on prior actions of players. So maybe sometimes it's a cumulative thing. Maybe sometimes it's the first time. So each one of them, it's such a broad accumulation of circumstances that I try to handle each one the best I can. Again, without ever sacrificing or compromising what I believe. or sacrificing or compromising the foundation of this team. But it's not easy. It's not easy. You know, you try to be compassionate. You try to use your best judgment. And I've always been pretty good at that throughout my coaching career, you know, of just taking a deep breath and looking at each one individually.
Bob, assuming Deshaun can go, who backs him up with Davie?
Man, we got all on deck now. You know, we'll probably, you know, Cranston Jones will probably end up being in the lineup as a true freshman. The two Jackson twins will probably be out there. You know, it's everybody. You know, we're preparing like everybody needs to play. You know, so it's unfortunate. It really is because, you know, Davante has done a lot of things since we've been here. You know, he made a big comeback academically when he was just about falling off the cliff. He hadn't missed a day of practice, but he made a decision that could have affected a lot of other people's lives, not just on this football team. So it's unfortunate, but we just move ahead now.
When you say other people's lives, the criminal complaint says he almost slammed into a police officer. So what would you say to anybody who says, you know, you're a 20-year-old kid who's supposed to be kind of a leader and a, I guess, viewpoint for the university? Why not just kick him off the team?
You know what? I think again because there are so many circumstances, and you try to judge each one individually. You know, I'd say the same thing to him, or the same thing to them if it was my son. You know, I feel very fortunate for him and for a lot of other people that it wasn't worse. It could have been catastrophic. You know, again, I understand the severity of that, and that's why I made that decision the moment he walked in my office. I didn't need to wait to see a police report or what the blood alcohol level was or anything like that. That was all insignificant to me.
Coach, talk about the TV deal. I mean, 11 of 13 games, you know they're going to be on, and even a 12th in some form or another online. You must be excited about that.
I hadn't really thought about it, you know, a lot of other things to think about today. You know, I'm glad for our fans that they'll get a chance, and I've said all along, you know what, I look at Boise State in this conference, in the same conference we're in. I think they're on TV 12 or 13 times this year. You know, when we're good enough that people want to watch us, they'll find a way to get us on television. So our first thing is to put a product out there that people want to watch. I am excited that our fans will get a chance to see us play, but you know, I'm just worried about going out there Saturday and not beating ourselves right now.
Would he have played Saturday? Do you know yet?
Oh yeah, Davante. He was a starting corner and a starting nickel, and he probably would have been a starting punt returner. So you're looking at probably 85 snaps he would have played in that game if you had to guess by the time it was done. So yeah, it was a starter on our football team. Okay, guys. All right, man.